Legend of the Flying Dutchman or the ghost ship Flying Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman, or the famous legend about English, the Flying Dutchman, Dutch, de Vliegende Hollander, a mysterious ghost ship. It suffers the eternal fate of wandering around in vast waters. But around there, but could never land on the headland. Superstitious seafarers always believe that any ship unlucky enough to encounter the Flying Dutchman will suffer a shipwreck and disappear, just like the fate of the ghost ship. The legend began in 1641. Flying Dutchman, as the name suggests, was a ship of the Kingdom of the Netherlands commanded by Captain van der Decken. The ship was returning from the Far East after a laden voyage. When passing by the Cape of Good Hope, in South Africa, he was busy thinking about the proposal to build a stop at the Cape of Good Hope with the East India Company, the ship and number 39's owner. He did not notice the dark clouds had filled the sky, and the ship was rushing straight towards the center of a fierce storm. Despite the fear and advice of the crew, and even the rebellion of some sailors, Captain van der Decken still resolutely ordered the ship to head straight into the storm, not knowing why I have gone crazy or my reason has been ruined by drunkenness. After an unsuccessful attempt to fight the storm, in despair at death, Captain van der Decken screamed in madness, vowing that he would return to this cape even if it was the end of the world. And so the captain and the whole ship were cursed that their souls would not be released but would forever be imprisoned at sea, bringing death to the ships that encountered them. They will never see land forever, forever lost in the sea. Life is worse than death, hungry and thirsty. But what they eat is like swallowing hot iron, what they drink is no different. Swallowing bitter bile. From then on, the ghost of the Flying Dutchman ship became a terrifying legend in the stories of seafarers. They said that if they passed the Cape of Good Hope and looked deep into a storm, they would see the silhouette of the ship and its sailors, now moving skeletons. Many witnesses even claimed that they had a close encounter with the Flying Dutchman while it was roaming on the sea. Someone said that the ship glided on the sea surface very lightly without wind. It suddenly appears to guide other ships, causing them to get stuck in dry creeks or collide with reefs. In general, sailors believe that anyone unlucky enough to encounter the Flying Dutchman will receive a tragic death. It is a bad omen on the journey that no ship wants to see. Sightings in the 19th and 20th centuries were of a ship glowing with ghostly lights. In maritime legend, seeing this ghost ship is an omen of doom. One of the most famous adaptations is a work by Richard Wagner, The Flying Dutchman, first performed in 1843 in Dresden. There are many other records related to the ship and Flying Dutchman and However, those records do not specifically record the time and place of the ship and number 39's appearance. The last record of this ship was in 1942 in Cape Town, South Africa. The most famous record is the encounter of the HMS Bachant, of the British Royal Navy, with the Flying Dutchman while passing the Cape of Good Hope in the early morning of July 11, 1881. According to the series The Famous and Pirates of the Caribbean and was also inspired by the legend of the ghost ship of the same name that circulated in the 16th century. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.